So today we are going to be tying a tarpon toad. So we're going to be starting by getting a Gamakatsu SL12S 1/0 in the vise. And I'm going to be tying this in grape jelly. So I'm going to need Danville's flat wax, 210 denier in black. I'm going to start by laying a thread base going all the way back to the bend of the hook. Doesn't need to be too thick. We can always go back, trim off that tagging. Then we're going to find a piece of marabou. So the key for this is try and find one where the stem doesn't go too far back. You want it to mostly just be the long fibers. Sorry if it takes a bit. Just want them to be tied right. I'm just going to get it nice clump. For me, I'm going to want it to be 1 to 1.5 times the length of the hook. Do 1, 2 loose wraps. So it's just on there, kind of mash it around the hook, and then really tighten down on it. And then we're just going to cover all this up to give it a nice slick body. And if there's ever too much or it's too long, never cut this. You can pinch it off with your thumb, but do not, in any case scenario, cut it. And then I like to rotate it to the underside of the hook. You can tie it on the top. It doesn't really matter. But then we're going to take EP fibers, or in my case, because it's cheaper, I'm going to use Fly Tires Dungeon Congo hair. And when it comes to this type of material, always remember to put it back in the packaging so it doesn't get messed up. I'm going to get a nice thin, maybe one pulled tight about a matchstick in size, and cut it off the piece. I'm going to make sure to store it back. Then I'm going to cut it into about 1 inch to 2 inch pieces, because we're going to end up stacking this almost like a crab body. Only difference is instead of catching redfish, this one's going to catch tarpon. Take one wrap going over, the other wrap going over the other way, like X-wrapping in some dumbbell eyes. So that way it goes even. Then we're just going to cinch down the thread in front of it and wrap back in front. That makes it so this won't pull out. If you want to, you can do more wraps around the Congo hair. I don't find it to be necessary. Then just going to do the same thing and stack it up until the head, making sure they're evenly spaced. Taking like 2 or 3 wraps in between. And you can tie this fly in any color combination under the sun. I love it in the grape jelly or chartreuse. And you also don't have to use marabou. You can use zonker strips, all sorts of different crazy materials. But today we're just going to be tying the classic marabou. Sorry. Oh, we all make mistakes, so if you mess up, it's better to untie it and retie that part in, because you don't want to have to completely redo the fly because you don't like it when you finish. And make sure it's maybe like 3 or so wraps in between each piece, because we still want it to sink. This time I might have to cut out a little more Congo hair though. Maybe. But I'm only going to need 1 more clump to finish this guy off. And then we're going to get to the part that actually makes this fly difficult. Sometimes. Is going to be trimming the body. Because that's what's going to be able to make or break your fly. Because if you mess up the body, you might as well just start over completely. Gonna fold this over because I didn't get it thick enough piece. Gonna go there, right there. And then we're gonna grab our whip finishing tool and whip finish the fly. And if you need to know how to whip finish, I recently posted a short on how. And once you do this enough times, you can do it with your eyes closed. But you're gonna be left with basically a ball of Congo hair. So what I like to do is pull everything out to the side so it's square. Take my scissors, kind of pinch it here, go from the eye, going out, and then maybe a tiny bit, like 4 or 5 eye lengths back, taper it back in towards the marabou. Gonna do the exact same on the other side. These are your 2 big cuts you're gonna do. If you notice, mine's a little lopsided, so I'm gonna keep trimming until I'm happy with it. And just make sure you get all that Congo hair to be somewhat level. You don't want it going back into the tail that much. That's something I've done it plenty of times, and it's really annoying. Does anyone know exactly what it's supposed to imitate? My guess is kind of like a pass crab with a mix of still a bait fish. And that was the tarpon toad.